Thank you for joining us on Married and Family Living with the Grasleys on 92.7 WSJF. This is a show focused on the domestic church, or the family, which is the foundation of faith and spirituality. We hope you find our stories encouraging and helpful as we share our challenges of married and family living.
Good. Hello, hello, Linda. How are you?
Hi. Who are you going to call me?
Hello, honey. How are you?
Hi, dear. Oh, it's been a rough week, hasn't it?
It's been. I can't wait for it to be in our rearview mirror, as you said.
Yeah,
yes,
definitely. So. Yeah, both our kids had some struggles at school this week, which are resolving themselves, but learning lessons, right?
Yes.
And you? Work has been terrific this week, right?
Has been horrific. That'd be better. Like, it's just horrific. I can't wait for it to be over.
Oh, definitely.
And then we got Lent going on, which...
the struggle is real.
It is real. It's been... I've been miserable ever since. I can't wait for Easter.
Oh, well, we need a vacation.
Well, is that what we're going to talk about?
Yeah. In the last episode, we spoke about family traditions and... going on family trips or vacations, part of tradition, right?
Yes, it is.
Sometimes,
yes. I don't know how anybody else's family is doing, but my family used to go to a certain place every year. I don't know about your family. Your family traveled all over the place, didn't it?
Well, you seem to think that, but you used to go to a camp, right?
Yeah, so when I was
tenting.
When I was a real little kid, we used to go to Hamlin Beach State Park on beautiful Lake Ontario.
Right.
Which is like a mini ocean.
And this will... Well, yeah, but it's big. It's like 60 miles across. It's Toronto, right?
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yes, it
is.
very,
is the deepest?
No, I think Lake Superior is the deepest, but it's pretty deep.
Something about it is the biggest. I can't remember. But anyway, well, we did something similar. As you know, we went to East Sydney Dam.
Oh, yes.
Remember, I grew up in Sydney. And it's like the tiniest lake, but we thought it was huge. Going back there now is really hilarious. But we would have this old canvas leaky sieve of a tent.
Nothing's changed there.
No.
Did it rain when you went?
Of course. Maybe it's a LeBaron tradition, not a Grassley.
I don't know. It rained
tradition.
When we went too.
But, I loved it. We'd take our bikes and we'd fish and canoe, and a friend of ours had a boat, so we would water ski and stuff like that.
Right. And then as we got a little bit older, as my parents got a little bit more money, I think we were able to rent out a cabin. We used to go up to Inlet, New York.
Yeah. Those
on Fourth Lake.
Housekeeping cabins.
Yes.
They were neat. Yeah. I didn't even know they existed because as we got a little older, we went to the Adirondack Mountains too, like you did, but we didn't go in a cabin. We went in, another tent.
Another tent?
Yeah. We did have a camper, though. You guys had a pop-up tent camper.
Yeah, I
remember.
And we got the 4 kids. I think the camper got sold, so
trashed.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's kind of funny when we go back there now with our kids, which we've done a couple times. They love it. It's kind of funny. Yeah, well, they love the Adirondacks.
They do love that.
So even though it's pretty far away, so
it's harder to do that now.
Absolutely.
But when we were younger, before our kids, we took some big trips.
Yeah, so we had some. Well, we got married and. Well, before we married, we had some big trips, too. Mm-hmm. And that's where we went out west that one time.
Yeah, we did a cross-country trip, which was really fun. And we drove to the Upper Peninsula in Michigan.
Yes.
Copper Harbor, remember? We did the thing over to Isle Royale where we saw moose. And we did a lot of camping and hiking and that kind of thing.
Yes, I just remember that the sun never set in that place, I remember.
Oh, I know. I remember you were up reading the Forbes magazine, and it was 10 o'clock. I'm like, I'm going to bed. And he's like, I can't. And he's reading a magazine outside.
Yeah, it was still
at
light
night
up
without
there.
a flashlight.
It was cool.
It was cool.
You can understand why people in Alaska are a little nutty after being up there.
Yeah, exactly. But we used to, when we both worked, we'd go on that ski trip, just like a long weekend, remember, over President's Day.
Yes. Holiday Valley, was that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ellicottville,
New York. Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun. We go.
So that was the
friends.
stuff we did when we did some more stuff when we didn't have any kids.
Yeah.
We had some
cash.
We had some cash. That's right. We had some cash. That's what I have in my wallet now. Is a picture of my family because that reminds me why I don't have any cash in my wallet. I was like, oh, there's the picture of the family. That's why there's no cash in the wallet.
Yeah. Well,
And,
when the kids were little and we moved down here, a lot of our trips were going to New York State to visit our families, and we'd go every month. But we did a lot of camping.
Right.
When they were little, until I think our first vacation was about 5 years after we moved here. I remember our neighbors had that condo in Ocean City. Oh, we lived large.
Yes.
They were so generous.
Yes. And that was with Ocean City. It was like, oh my gosh, I can't remember having a vacation on the ocean before then. So it was.
Yeah.
I think we went to Myrtle Beach once in Florida.
We went with your parents to Myrtle Beach. Yeah. I do remember that. But I remember Katie, it was the first time she'd seen the ocean, and I was pregnant with Matthew, and I don't think she knew yet. Or maybe she had just found out anyway.
Yeah.
But we walked down to the beach up and over the dune, and then she saw the water, and she just stood there. And do you remember what she said?
I think she said the ocean has no sides or something.
Yeah, where are the sides?
Where are the sides of the ocean?
She was thinking it was like a big pool.
Yeah, that was cool.
She's probably 4 or 5. It was really amazing. It was kind of fun.
That was a good vacation. And that was going to be like, hey, we're going to Ocean City every single summer.
Yeah.
Because it's only 3.5 hours away.
Right.
Maybe 4.5 with the bridge traffic. But hey, let's just go there every year. It'll
Right.
be great.
And
But then we kind of outgrew that.
Yeah, well, I think we camped more. But we did do the day trips to Assateague because Katie always loved seeing the horses, and that was fun. We'd leave really early in the morning and pack a breakfast and a lunch, and then McDonald's on the way back, get home really late.
Yeah, that was. I think we did that a couple of years. It's kind of a long day, but it's nice because you go in there, you get on the beach, and you're on the beach.
Yeah.
There's nowhere else to go. You don't got to go back to the hotel.
Right. Well, yeah, and we didn't do the hotel. We just did a day, and we would go the week that everybody went back to public school because we were homeschooling then.
Yes, that's one of the benefits of having homeschool kids. You can go on the off.
Nobody was there.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. A couple times we did that.
The one place we hadn't been until last year when Katie turned 16 was Chincoteague. And we'd always say, oh, we got to go to the pony swim. And we just never clicked. And last year, 2 years ago, I tried to book it, but I didn't realize how early you had to book.
Yeah, you got to book like last month. You had to book for that for this year, right?
Yep. So we did that for Katie's 16th birthday, and the hotel there was the Best Western, I think.
Yeah, Best Western on, very nice, right across from, well, the
amazing.
hotel was okay, but the staff just was phenomenal.
Yeah, they spoiled us and her rotten.
Yeah, because you mentioned, it's our daughter's 16th birthday, and they really went all out. It was very nice. So, and that turned into, well, if Catherine was here, she'd say that was the best vacation she's ever had.
Yeah. So the kids were supposed to be here today, but events of the week and today
pushed them over the edge, and they said, I'm not going to talk on that radio.
But Katie did want you to know
that
Chincoteague was one of her favorites because in 2015 and 2016, we went on a couple of epic trips. And we'll tell you about that a little later in the show. But both of them were pretty much done with very long trips and moving around a lot. They just wanted to be in one spot. So,
well, I think you might have been done with that too, but
maybe the planning and everything.
I think you lobbied the kids when I was at work.
Oh, right. Yeah, I guess that was. But anyway, so we went for 3 nights, maybe, and
4 days and 3 nights. Yeah,
we rented bikes, and so we rode over to the
pony run.
We saw them come down the beach. And it's a refuge, isn't it, there?
Yes.
And there's a lighthouse. So, we got to do other things besides the ponies.
Right.
Just sit on the beach and burn to a crisp.
Somebody did.
Somebody
forgot to put on sunblock. So somebody is against sunblock. This guy right here. Yes, I was in that. That's the worst I've got sunburned. I can't believe you didn't put any sunblock on me.
I did the first time, and then you were like, I don't need it.
So that turned out to be a great vacation.
It was so relaxing.
And when the ponies swim over from the Assateague over into the mainland,
Chincoteague.
it's like New Year's Eve down there. I mean, it's a small town. They have a blow up screen that they were showing the live camera of the ponies coming around. So you don't even need to be. You can see them.
Yes, you need to be.
Well,
if you're a horse lover, you need to be down in the muck. That's where Kate and I were.
All bets are off.
Al and Matthew were in the park, and they got to see it. Kate and I, we were standing there around all these people that it was their family tradition to go every year.
Oh.
And they were telling us about it. And I said, so where do the ponies come in? And they just looked at me like, honey, right here.
Pony
we were
lane.
literally at the fence where they came in. We're standing in muck, and we could hear them, see them. They were right next to us. It was so cool for Katie. It was raining, but we didn't care.
The park was better, because,
you guys were there?
Because we weren't in the muck. There was other people there having a good time, and it was kind of festive. So,
yeah.
But me and Matthew are not horse people like you and your daughter.
Yeah. Well, my daughter is definitely a horse crazy girl.
So, but besides that vacation was very relaxing because it was like we went to the beach, we came back, we went in the pool, we went out to eat a couple times, and it was just like
mini golf.
Mm-hmm. We got the all-day pass for mini golf. So that was... Actually, we're going to try to get there again this year, aren't we? Because it was such a good trip. And it's short. It's only like 4.5 hours away, is it?
Yeah, I don't even think that long, yeah.
So that one is good. And then Matthew's favorite trip would be...
Well, that's part of our epic.
Oh, yeah,
so
we better wait on that one.
Talk about just one more thing, and then we'll get to that.
Get to the epic one.
Last year was your idea.
So, last year, my aunt and uncle decided to venture down to D.C.,
From Rochester,
which is,
this big step for people from Rochester to leave.
Nobody leaves that town, I swear.
Yeah.
But they came down, and we went to the White House, and then we went to a couple other places. And I'm like, you know what? We should be doing day trips down in D.C. this summer. And we ended up going to quite a few places.
Arlington.
We went to Arlington a couple times. Because we wanted to go on the tour bus that one time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So my great-grandfather and great-grandmother are buried there, so that was kind of cool looking them up.
Yeah. When we lived down here, we would visit Arlington quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I was impressed that you had family there. It's neat.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Maybe you have family there, and you could take the kids down and look up the gravesite. It's kind of cool.
Right.
And then we did the Capitol building, which... Oh, my goodness. The visitor center in the Capitol building is unbelievable.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I
loved
think it's
that.
10 years old or something, but it's free.
It wasn't there when we lived down there.
Yes.
And it shows you the whole history of the Capitol building and its design, like from the beginning of its design. And I thought that was really amazing.
That was cool.
It was.
Like, I'm kind of bumming I didn't get my aunt and uncle to that place to go see
hopefully they'll come again.
Maybe next time.
Another 10 years.
That is behind the Capitol building on the Supreme Court side where you enter for that.
Right.
But that was really cool. And then we ventured further down to the Marine...
What's the name of the Marine Museum?
The Marine Museum.
In Quantico?
Yes. What is it?
I don't know. I can't remember the name of it, but that was...
That was a spectacular museum. That was... And you could do this during the day. Like, we left on Saturday morning. I mean, it's a long day, but it was cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
It's very well done.
Yes.
Very well done. And then going north of here, not even a couple hours, I don't think, in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, is a military park. And that is the history of all the branches in different wars.
Right.
And
they got some cool, like, battle scenes set up there. I shouldn't say battle scenes, but they have the trenches from World War I set up.
Right, so that's outdoors. The museum is both indoors and outdoors, so the part you're talking about is outdoors. It takes about an hour and a half, I would say, to go through.
Yeah.
And, so there's trenches and...
It's helicopters, a lot of Vietnam
and helicopters.
Tanks, of course. Matthew's in tanks.
Yes, so. And Katie's into flight, so seeing, like, old helicopters and fixed wing was really cool for her.
It was cool. It was cool. That's a good one. There's so much to do, like, in this area.
Right.
Like, you could do a day trip to Gettysburg. We did that on
our anniversary. Yeah.
I mean, it was just nice. And then I took Matthew up there later on. Yeah, Antietam is around. And just going to D.C., you could just pick a museum and go every day.
Another thing, I don't know that you'd want to do this, but I was thinking it would be fun to take the kids Eastern Shore. They have a new Harriet Tubman museum.
Oh.
And they talk all about the...
Underground Railroad,
and
do you have to go underground to go to that museum?
I don't think so. Just over the water on the bridge.
You are listening to Married and Family Living on WSJF 92.7 LPFM, Eldersburg.
So now, honey, I know you're just dying to talk about the epic
adventures.
Trips.
Well, we brought some books in to talk about the epic trip here. As you can tell here, there's a lot of good stuff here. Cool pictures.
They can see those books, just like they can see your face for radio.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, there. So we can post some pictures, but
so let's talk about that. How long did it take us to plan the first epic trip?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh,
well,
years.
Do you remember we went first
by ourselves
25 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah. And when we were preparing for this particular trip with the kids, I pulled out our old stuff, and the itinerary I had put together was on a dot matrix printer.
Oh my goodness. I don't even think there was Word. It was probably just what was it? It wasn't Word. It was something else.
No, it was like a DOS prompt probably.
My Lord.
Yeah.
Yes, that's funny.
So anyway, we're old. So, So I kind of used that as the basis. Now was it almost 6 weeks?
We did 6 weeks, and I think I drove out
You drove
Denver,
to Colorado, yeah.
And then you did a big
and
loop.
And I flew in, and then we did a big loop there. So we kind of wanted to replicate that, but quickly we realized it was going to take a lot more time with the kids.
Right, because I wanted to drive 1,000 miles in 3 days. I'm like, let's just get in the car and drive. Just keep on driving. We'll just take turns.
Yeah, so you took a shot at creating the itinerary first.
Yeah, because I was unlimited.
And literally, he was going to have us drive one day to South Dakota. And I said, no, that's not going to happen.
If you go the speed limit, it takes 24 hours with no stops.
So then I planned it, and it took us 3 days, right? Was it 3 days?
Yeah, 3 days to get out to Rapid City, South Dakota.
In Ohio with some friends, and then we went to Cedar Rapids,
Iowa. That was a long day. And then we went from Cedar Rapids, Iowa to Rapid City. That day was long.
That was a very long day.
That was a long day.
But we kind of bolted there to other friends that we have. And, that was awesome. So that was the first trip, and that was the northern route. And we did a lot of national parks, and it was wonderful.
So we went north up to Montana, did Glacier, and the furthest south I think we went was Crater Lake, I think, right? And then we kind of came across.
Is Crater Lake further south than the Grand Tetons?
Oh, maybe not. Maybe it was Grand Tetons.
Well, we could look at our map.
Yes, we could look at our map.
But
so I would say that this epic trip, we debated about this trip for years because...
A few years we did.
Do we need to take the kids out to do this? How much vacation time should I take?
Right.
How much money is it going to cost?
Well, at the time we were thinking about doing something. It was everybody's going to Disney. I think we might have mentioned that before, but we thought we don't want to do Disney.
Yeah, we don't want to do Disney.
A lot of money, and we decided what it would cost us to go to Disney. We could do this, actually 2 trips, a northern trip and a southern trip.
This adventure.
Yeah.
And
so we mapped out a course, and
oh my goodness, yes, it was
very packed.
It was packed. So gone are the days because I'm kind of like, hey, let's just drive out there. We'll try to find a camping spot when we get there. And luckily, my lovely wife, who likes to plan everything, said we're not doing that. And we had a pretty full itinerary. It was pretty much every day.
Yeah, you have to hit where you're reserving.
Right.
So it was pretty tight.
We did a lot of KOAs.
KOA camping, and we made a couple cabins, right?
But I think we had like 20 days of straight
camping.
Straight tent camping.
Yeah,
and there was a couple
awesome.
days where we show up, set up, eat dinner, wake up the next morning, tear down and leave. But it was still...
So our destination was Newport, Oregon, because my brother and his wife and 2 adorable boys were camping there, and they camp in yurts. So we got there and set up our tent. I think, did it rain that first night?
I don't know. It was miserable. I remember.
But so one of their family friends decided it was raining and they were leaving. So we got their yurt for 2 nights.
That was nice.
After camping for 20 days. It was wonderful, and it was beautiful out there. It was really fun.
That was very nice. And I remember we hit Newport, Oregon. I'm like, oh, now we could start heading back east.
It's a weird feeling.
I wish I would have enjoyed it more, the trip.
Well, then you had a second chance to enjoy it more, because we didn't the next year. We did our southern route.
We did the southern route next year. It was a little bit shorter. It was 3 weeks, I think, wasn't it?
Yes.
3 weeks.
Yes. And
unfortunately, because we experienced the first trip, we're like, yeah, this is a piece of cake. We'll just throw some stuff in the car and go. We got this. We just did this 9 months ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And, well, that turned out to be a disaster. Well,
Why?
There was a couple bad days, but...
See, all in your perception,
yes, it's
right?
in my perception. We talked about that in an episode.
Last time, yeah.
It is a little stressful going on these kind of trips. A couple of tips. Let's give a couple of tips about going on these kind of trips. One is we limited what we brought. I think it was like 2 pairs of shorts, 1 pair of jeans, 1 sweatshirt, 4 or 5 shirts. I can't remember.
Yeah, we really tailored it. We'll post that file too on Facebook on what we actually brought.
What we brought, because we were planning on doing laundry every 4th day, and we camped at a KOA, and most KOAs, I think actually all KOAs have laundry. Laundry and showers.
That's how detailed the itinerary was, just
Right.
to give you an idea of who I really am.
Yes, and
And every 5 days we went to Walmart, because every Walmart is the same. So you know exactly what foods they're going to carry. And we kind of planned our meals based on, like, for example, we would buy chicken, and that night we would have chicken, and I would double cook. So we'd, refrigerate in our cooler half of the chicken, and I wouldn't have to worry about
you wouldn't have to worry about salmonella, yeah, because that's a big thing out there.
Yeah. Not out there, but
yeah, in our kitchen.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and another thing is we kind of had the same 5 meals.
It was a 5-day rotation.
5-day rotation, because it's like this
the
is
fifth day was we go out for pizza.
Right. We would go out. There would be either McDonald's or pizza.
Yeah.
There would be a fast food stop in there.
Yeah.
But the meals were kind of the same, because you know how to prepare them. You know what to buy for it. When we were gone for 28 days, I think it was, on the first trip.
Yeah.
So we kind of got into a rotation.
A routine and rotation, right?
It was good.
I don't know. One thing I was completely unprepared for was the kids being homesick.
Right, I know.
And both trips, it was day 9. And the first trip, it was Matt, fell apart on day 9, and the second was Kate.
Yeah, it was a rough one.
So, yeah, that's tough. They, I think mostly, both trips was missing their dog.
Right.
And the second trip, my sister was supposed to meet us in Utah and became ill, so she couldn't make it. So that was just devastation.
Yes.
For both of them.
That was the hottest day of that trip. Do you remember how hot it was? We were driving through Vegas on that day, and it was terrible. So
another tip about the heat and the cold is really do somewhat prepare for that. We went on the northern trip in August, and you would think, even though it's North America, or Northern America, I should say, it got really cold.
Oh, my gosh.
We had some, I would say, 4 or 5 30-degree nights.
It was cold.
So on our 5-day trip to Walmart, we picked up some extra blankets. And zipped sleeping bags together to keep each other warm.
Yeah, that was up in Montana. That was chilly.
And then on the southern trip, make sure you are very aware of your first aid and heat exhaustion, because Katie did, fortunately, we did know the signs of heat exhaustion, but she really was in some trouble. And I had to sprint out of a canyon to get her some cold water and ice, and then once she was a little cooler in the shade, we could get her out of the canyon, but that was a little crazy.
That was cool, though. That hike was cool.
It was really cool.
It was.
We hiked through a 2.4-mile canyon in 103-degree weather. Oh, it just sounds crazy, doesn't it? And along the canyon walls, it's shady, so we learned to kind of stick to the walls. But as you climbed up out of the other end of the canyon, there were these really deep grooves, and they formed what they call tanks. Rainwater falls in them. Unfortunately, when we went, and still is, I think, quite a drought out there. So there was only one tank that had water in it, and it was pretty warm.
Yes, it
didn't cool down anybody.
It was cool, though.
So, but it was fun. It was a really cool
So
trip.
I would say that these 2 epic trips we went on, they're pretty stressful for the adults.
If you let it be.
If you let it be. But
yeah.
It was kind of funny, because we ordered picture books of the trip, and Linda kind of blogged our trip, and was sending it to people, and she where did we get this from?
Yeah,
Shutterfly. But anyway.
But I just dumped the blog into the, Peekaboo it is, into the pictures. And, it's kind of personal. The kids are like, you're not going to read that on the air, are you? Because there are some personal things in there that they wouldn't want shared. But we bought a double so that, they can each have one when they leave home. And maybe they'll, when we kick it. Maybe they can do the same with their kids. We do, like for future trips, though, we do ourselves want to do it again for a third time, you and I, in retirement years. Retire. And
maybe after this week, it might be, might be tomorrow. I'll be retiring.
After this week, retiring early. Okay.
But it was kind of funny. Like, I really thought, like, after our first trip, I thought to myself, well, was this really worth it? I mean, did the kids even appreciate it? Because I think people with kids know that sometimes your kids are not very appreciative. And the books came in the mail, and it was amazing.
The tough parts were not remembered.
Not remembered, but they each pulled out the book and just intently looked at each page and like, oh, I remember that, I remember this. And it's kind of cool, too, because we went out west, and sometimes when, like, the Grand Canyon comes up or Glacier National Park comes up or Crater Lake comes up on TV, it's like, we were there. We have been there, We've been other obscure places on this trip. In fact, we asked the kids what they wanted to do on these trips. And Matthew really did love the Grand Canyon. He wanted to do that. But another obscure thing he wanted to do in Tennessee, Pigeon Forge, he wanted to go see the Titanic Museum. So that was his favorite. Yeah,
part.
The Titanic Museum, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be terrible. Holy cow. It was cool.
It was cool. It was very
well done.
Very well done.
Yes, if you're ever
very
out in
interesting.
Pigeon Forge,
Tennessee,
that is worth. Well, if you're into the Titanic, that's worth the price of admission.
Well, I'm not really in it. I like history. If you like history, it was really neat too.
It was cool,
and it'd be something that kids would enjoy.
It was cool.
Well, we are going to go on a family trip to Nantahala. When I was a kid, I went with my cousin, so we're going to do that in June, and then
what? This June?
Yes, we're all going. And I know we've been trying to get to the Statue of Liberty, so hopefully we'll be able to do that. I did throw on Facebook Sykesville Online family ideas for trips, and oh my goodness, I was surprised how many places that we've already visited, and I'm thinking, I'd love to go again, like Bar Harbor, Acadia.
Oh, yeah,
Maine.
we went, yep.
A lot of people mentioned that. A lot of people have visited places where we grew up, the Finger Lakes, the Adirondacks. Two people mentioned Letchworth State Park in Western New York.
Wow.
If you all want to go up there, it is really beautiful country.
It is beautiful.
All of it. Wineries and hiking and camping is beautiful. And Deep Creek was big. Natural Bridge. We got to do that. Bahaba is really calling my name.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. But anyway, it was interesting to see. I think I got maybe 80 comments.
Really?
Yeah, and it started out things like close by and camping and things that I think we'd really enjoy. And then some a little further away, beach and neat things I think we would consider. And then it just got crazy Facebook, like Italy and Australia, Hawaii.
If you can't drive there, I'm really not interested in going.
Well, that's how I felt. But, I mean, people, those are kind of their family traditions. They enjoy doing those kinds of trips. So whatever your idea is for a great family trip, maybe you want to check that post out while I keep it up there a little longer. Yeah,
and I would tell you to do it now because it's kind of funny. The epic trips that we took, 4 years ago? Mm-hmm. We could not do it now with our children involved in all the other stuff.
They're too busy. Yeah, if your kids are younger. And if they're out of the nest, create a good trip for yourself. And if you're still, younger without kids, make those family traditions like we did our ski trip. And then we do a beach trip.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So...
Well, sadly, it seems like we're out of time. I can't believe it's been
30 minutes
already.
Yeah.
I guess I really wasn't prepared for these shows. What are we going to talk about next week or next month?
Honestly, I have no idea.
All right. Well, hopefully next month Easter will be here and Lent will be over. That's what I'm hoping. So,
almost.
Well, we'll have to put that stuff up on Facebook, and if you're
just message us too if you want any advice about our different trips. And the Facebook page is Married and Family Living with the Grasleys, or you can just do @the Grasleys, 1 S. And we'd be happy to
talk about
help you
something.
out.
We'll try to talk. Maybe we'll put it into a show. So
Yeah, and if you have ideas, please let us know.
So.
We're running out. No, we're not. I do have a list, but this one seemed really fun.
This one did.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for listening, and have a good month.